more sunshine than yesterday, and the winds are not quite as strong, and temperatures generally close to average for the time of year. But very wet and windy in the northwest. If anything, the wind's picking up further through the afternoon and especially during the evening. A very blustery first half of the night for the Western Isles, the Northern Isles, and northern parts of the mainland. Showers will keep
try that again. DJ Whisperer, yeah. So I've been having problems with my microphone. It's showing on the OBS that it's working. Let me just DJ Whisperer, yeah. So I've been having problems with my microphone. Well, I can hear it because I'm playing it on the OBS that it's working. Let me just. So I'm not speaking because I'm listening to see the volumes or hear the volume. Anyway, so the mic is working. I don't know what's going on there. I've got to mute that. And yeah. Anyway, hello. Hope you're all well.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Miners, ladies, strangers to blue waters, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear a voice in the morning, how she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country roads. Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Lift me like an olive branch and be my homeward go. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Oh, let me see your beauty when the witnesses are gone. Let me feel you're moving like they do in Babylon. Show me slowly what I only know the limits of. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the wedding now. Dance me on and on. Dance me very tenderly and dance me very long. We're both of us beneath our love. We're both of us above. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the children who are asking to be born. Dance me through the curtains that our kisses have worn. Raise a tent or shelter now, now every thread is torn. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. La la, la 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 la. La 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 la. La la. La la. La la. La. Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic till I'm gathered safely in. Touch me with your naked hand or touch me with your glove. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Practicing with the help, trying to get this finger to work, because I'm quite surprised. I couldn't actually move that pinky, and there is a warm-up exercise which is not easy, and when I first tried to do it I couldn't do it. I still can't. But the fact that I can actually move it now is quite impressive. It don't seem like it, but it is. People are still wearing their old muzzles, and you can't change that. I haven't got a... I did. I had a couple and they just disappeared. I think they've been hoovered up. God. I can see I'm going to be buying a lot of them. Hope you're all well. Yeah, Ali. Good to see you. I just saw a big flash of light. Honestly, I did. I will do a live stream at some point. At some point I will learn how to play the guitar. And I do appreciate Clive, I really appreciate what you did, mate. It's going to be a long, slow journey. And all I will say is, I'm better than I was when I first started. So there's always improvement, little steps. I have no expectations. It will be what it will be. I will practice as often as I can. It's just getting the chord changes, that's all. And it is something that I've struggled with. But I guess everyone does when they first start. Oh, bit of a buzz. These are just the chords that I can do at the moment. I know those that can play are wincing, like, ah. Do that every time. Yes, I've said nothing, done nothing. Go and watch Moonshiner's video. It astounds me, his pyrotechnics. Jesus, how his neighbours haven't got a banning order on him. Oh, it looked like a NASA rocket experiment. I'm sorry, I've got nothing to give you, to offer you. No words of enlightenment. No, nothing's come to mind. Just be you. That's all I can think of. Just be yourself. Good on you, Jamie. Yeah, I know you probably won't be seeing this, but I think you're doing the right thing. I really do. YouTube is, it has its uses, but it's also a trap. It's how you use it is the important thing. Yeah, so I hope I can get some petrol for next week, because I really need to get finished at this place. I've become a local resident there. It's quite funny. I was working. It's about 9:30 at night. And one of the neighbours phoned me up. I'd done a job for her some time ago, and she phoned me up. Are you alright? Your car's still there and I can't see any lights on. And yeah, I hadn't fallen asleep on the job, but bless her. Yeah. So if I look tired, it's because I really am tired. I know I'm going on about it, but I'm tired. I just want to get done. And once I get done, I'm going to see my good buddy, my good mate, my pal. And I'm looking forward to getting up to Durham. It's just not. I'm just glad I've got a guitar, and I will learn. I will get there. Strumming rhythm's getting better, I think. It's good to practice without actually. But there's so many, and I'll get so confused. I'll start off one strumming pattern, and then I end up doing lots of different ones. Maybe I'm better off at drumming. Or not. Anyway, I think that's enough from me. It's really that long. I doubt if my recorder will let me publish this anyway. Anyway, take care everyone. Thanks for watching. If you got this far, put a 2 in the comment. And please make a comment. Come on. Come on. Say hello. Just a little hello would be wonderful. Hey you, out there in the cold day, lonely day long, can you feel me? Hey you, standing in the yard, itchy feet and fading smiles, can you feel me? Hey you, don't have them to bury the light. Don't give in without a fight. Hey you, out there on the long sea, naked by the phone, you can touch me. Hey you, we're here against the wall, waiting for someone to call out. Touch me. Hey, would you help me to carry the stone? Open your heart, I'll come home. But it was only fantasy. The wall was too high, as you can see. matter how he tried, he could not break free. And the words seemed to be grey, 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 grey. Hey you, out there on the road, always doing what you're told. Can you help me? Hey you, out there beyond the wall, breaking bottles in the hall. Can you help me? Hey you, don't tell me there's no hope alone. Together we stand, divided we fall, we fall, we fall, we fall,
Only about an hour of daylight left. We better get started.
Is it unsafe to travel at night?
A lot less safe to stay here. Your father's gonna pick up our trail before long.
Can Lorca ride?
Yeah, that's right. Margaret, time to go. Ingrid? Thank you for everything.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
My job is to make college easier because students have a lot on their plates. Like Harper, an econ major who piles on the pressure. Grammarly can help her stress less.
This term paper's gotta be great. It's a third of my grade.
Your ideas are on the money. Let's make sure they come across clearly with Grammarly. Watch it work. Watch it work.
Wow, that is stronger.
And Avery, an engineering major who runs on ambition and coffee. Grammarly can get her her dream job.
My application needs to stand out. They only meet with the top candidates.
If you want to make a good impression and nail your delivery, use Grammarly. You don't want to pull another all-nighter, do you? Now that's taking it to the end zone. Yeah. Ow! Touchdown with Grammarly. And Blake, an education major who knows what he wants. So you're going to be a school teacher.
Yeah, but first I need to get my senior thesis over the finish line. I keep repeating the same words.
Let Grammarly help you find the right words faster. Grammarly, do your magic. And you did it in one place. Grammarly means better results. That's why it's the writing tool.
Turn that off. Oh, hang on. Am I on? Yes, I'm on. Can you hear me? I hope you can. Thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon. I have a day off because the carpet people are fitting carpets today, and I wasn't going to be climbing over them. Yes, so I'm just looking at the screen now. Excuse me. So I've just had some toast. Well, that was a lovely bit of guitar playing. It was only a little pop. No idea why I've done a live. Many things to do. Still got to do shit. Yeah, thinking of David today. Thanks to Jill for reminding me. What a horrible, horrible thing that he's going through. Terrible. Yeah, it's trying to get well, I haven't even tried yet, but getting to work, the queues that are causing absolute mayhem. I've been calm, and somehow I've managed to get, I've got to go probably about 50 odd miles, and when I get to where I've got to get to, it's the same. There's just this one main road that you've got to go up, which has a petrol bloody Sainsbury's, and miles. So what I'm doing tonight, don't tell anyone, I'm going out at 1 o'clock because I hear there is a delivery, and I can't even say where. I know, stupid, isn't it? How stupid. No, Sainsbury's, my local Sainsbury's. What they're doing, they're opening at 12 o'clock to 7 at night, from 12 at night till 7 in the morning, I think. And apparently last night it was really good, no hold up. So I've got no choice, I've got to do it. Got to get this job done. As I said in the chat earlier, really messed up on the price. But I've got a feeling that she's gonna give me some extra. And they did give me something at the beginning of the job that they asked me to get rid of. And I looked on eBay, not eBay, on it's because it's a special item, and it's worth over 300 quid. So I'll probably sell that. It's no good to me. So yeah, I've been working from probably 8 till 10, 8 till 8, that sort of hours. I'm so many days out on the estimate. Oh my god. But you have to stand by your words. Your word is your bond. And my word was, that's the price. And I even put in, even if I went over the days stated, that I wouldn't take any more money than the price that I put in. Oh, how you eat your words. But that's fine. At the end of the day, I've earned a little bit out of it, which is better than nothing. Been good exercise. And this old lady, she's in her 70s, her daughter's helping do all the project managing and that. And she's, you know, absolute fair play. She's been really good. And I just want this place so good. It's so beautiful. But when she goes in, I'm hoping to get finished by next weekend. And that means she's got all new carpets, all new windows. The whole place has been decorated, apart from 2 rooms, which she's asked me to come back and do in the new year. I think that's going to cost her a little bit more, only because her daughter, I know her daughter's got a little bit of that. And my estimate now, I've probably, and remember, I'm travelling 50 miles there and 50 miles back, so 100 miles a day. That's my petrol, which is about around 60, just under. I'm probably going to be making 60 pound a day for them hours. But I'd rather be doing that than sitting on the backside and doing nothing while I can. Now I'm waffling, ain't I? So I haven't even looked at chat. So I hope everyone is good. Jamie, welcome. Good to see you, mate. And I did a video, and I gave not a shout out, but I agree. You need to step back from YouTube, and you've got to start living, you know, experiencing life. Life has so much to offer. Although we are in unprecedented times, but nature has no boundaries. Get out in nature, spend some time. I've been lucky because where I am, I'm by the sea. I'm also by the countryside, so I'm very spoiled. You've got to live though. You know, when you get out in nature, or where are the boundaries? Where are the rules and regulations? There aren't none. It's just you and nature. Now I'm starting to waffle. Right, I'm just having a quick look just to make sure that I see people. Oh, don't start moon on the bloody volcanoes. Jeez. So anyway. Oh, that's funny. Apparently we're getting some storms and all that. So I've just noticed that Jamie ain't got a spanner. He ain't got a spanner. So he's blue now. Sorry, this is not very exciting, is it? Now, what I did, I'm not even going to attempt to make any noise with the guitar. Because I did a test earlier on to see the sound quality. And my mics are absolutely, I don't know if it's the soundboard in the computer. I don't know enough about it. It's not my cup of tea. Got a bit of wallpaper hung up. I'll do that. But when it comes to tech, I'm not very good. I really ain't. Can't even see. I'm not stoned. I can't even remember what I've been saying. Oh yeah, I won't play the guitar. Did I say that already? Like a repeat, innit? BBC. I haven't watched it. I haven't listened to no news, nothing. All I get is echoes from my wife telling me of things that are going on. So I don't listen to the radio. I listen to, well, I do listen, that's not correct. I do listen to a radio station. It's called Chilled Radio or something, and it's just chilled. So I listen to that on the way and back from work. Woohoo! How exciting. Green screen what? What do you want me to green screen? I can't green screen the audio. Yeah. Can't do that. No, I've got this mic and it's a tone thing and it's crap. I did buy a hand mic, but that's shit. I know nothing. I know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I don't mind working out. I love working outside in the summer, but I've just done so many extensions and that through the winter. Absolute shit. Groundwork. I've done so much groundwork. All right with a digger, but nevertheless, it's shit work. Turned out a bit sunny now for a little bit. Can you see out? You can't really see outside. Don't know. I've got my headphones on. Not listening to nothing. I must say, the drivers out there, they're getting worse. They've just got no regard for anyone or anything. I went up. There's the thing. What is it? I've got it here. I took my daughter up to London, to the Brixton Academy. I think it is, yeah. To see a band. And dropped off. That was fine. And then had to go and pick her up at night at about 11 o'clock. London is the worst place to drive in this country. Right? I am telling you, 20 mile an hour is the speed limit. People were walking faster than I was driving. And cameras everywhere. So I went back up there, 2 hour drive up, 2 hours back. So I did 8 hours of driving just so she could go to this concert up London. And I've got a warning notice from Lambeth Council, parking. Why do they call it parking? Because I wasn't parking, I was driving. Apparently, contravening code, failing to comply with a prohibition on, oh God, Jesus, can't even read. Start again. Failing to comply with a prohibition on certain types of vehicle. Well, what the F is that all about? Anyway, I'll try and show you. And there's my car. That's me getting, that's me probating, I guess. Probating their prohibition. observed by a camera operative. It's a warning. It's a warning. Be warned. I've been warned. But you can fuck right off. I won't be driving up London again, I tell you. That you can hold me to. Never again. There's so many signs. Cyclists. Can't go up here. Restricted to this vehicle. Speed bumps everywhere. I fucking hate London. I do. I hate it. I do. I really do. Yeah, it's about right, Honor. I got stuck on the M25 once. I was working up in Heathrow, just the other side. And I got on the motorway at about, it was a Friday, I'll never forget, it was a Friday, about 5 o'clock. I got on the motorway, the M25. And 12 hours later, I still hasn't got home. They were helicoptering loads of water and biscuits and all of that. There was lorry fires. It was absolute madness. I think the worst day in the M25's history. And I was there. Woohoo. Bastards. Anyway. And these smart motorways, what's smart about them, for fuck's sake? Tell me what's smart. They're dumb. How many times I've been driving and it's 50 flashing, 50. So you drive for 10 miles and you think, why? Because some person sitting there and he's got power to make these hard-working people suffer. 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. Bastards. I remember the old days, driving. The old days. Carefree. No seat belts. No handbrake. The gear lever used to come out in the hand. Started it with a pair of scissors. God blimey. Those were the days. Hey, Mick. Let me give you a wrench. Sorry, mate. I was just waffling a load of shit, really. Because that's what I do sometimes. And, yeah, I've just been saying to people, I reckon I've probably got about 6 days left on that job, Mick. So, hopefully within the next few weeks, I'll be going up north. Heading north I will be. Good to see you though, Mick. Hope you're alright. I've been waffling on, ain't I? Oh, so I'll put some music back on. Let me just find something. Was there anyone, did anyone put some music up in for a link? I'm just having a look on the chat now just to see if there's anything. Oh, I missed that. Fred Dimner. Is it Dimner? Fred Dimner, the chimney man, isn't he? The steeplejacker. Is that right? The steeplejacker. Yeah, so if you do want something to play quickly, I'll play it for you. Can you hear the gulls? They're not seagulls. People say seagulls. No, they're gulls. What type of gull they are, I don't know. But they're called gulls, not seagulls. when you're in land and you see lots of gulls, they're not at sea, are they? So they're not sea. You could call them land gulls. With loads of land gulls. I don't know. You're not even funny. Sometimes I just laugh at myself, my own stupidity. But you have to survive in this shithole. Yeah, I know what that is. It's a UFO. Spit stopper. Shaz, welcome. Good to see you. Shaz 73. Hope you're well. This is a very dull and boring stream. I'm sorry, but welcome to my world. What's this one? Want to join me in my bubble shit? Oh, that's this is one of Simon's songs, I believe. Let me just go to chat. Yeah, live stream. That's it. All right. Oh, there we go. Here, a wee last stuff. Oh, right. Well, I'll play this one first, and then I'll play Honour's one. I think I'm right. Am I right, Simon? This is your one? Eternal Echoes, welcome. How are you? I don't know why I'm calling you Eternal. I should just... D, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Sorry, things going on. Yeah, good to see you. What was I doing? Yeah, I'm just gonna go on that link, this one, and then I'll play this, and then I'll play Honour's one. All right. I accept. Copy link. Right, copy that. Let's stop that. Go back. All gets very complicated, all this streaming like. Anyway, so browser. Let's get rid of that. Delete, paste, and hopefully I can go da-da. Yeah. Da-da.
Just three boys living in the grave. People passing these tombstones of mine, and I've never seen so much light. I look into my crystal ball, I see the future all the way. I know it sounds a fairy tale, but there is life there every flowers, yeah, they grow anyway. Even though the boys did not pray, even though they were living in the grave, I look into my crystal ball, I see the future of the boys. Tell you, living in the grave ain't as bad as it seems. Living in the grave ain't as bad as it seems. Even though the boys did not pray, even though they were living in the grave, I look into my crystal ball, I see the future of the boys. I tell you, living in the grave ain't as bad as it seems. Living in the grave ain't as bad as it seems. Living in the grave ain't as bad as it seems. Living in the grave ain't as bad as it seems. To be or not to be, to free or not to free, to crawl or not to crawl. Fuck all those perfect people. To sleep or not to sleep, creep or not to creep. And some can't remember what others recall. Fuck all those perfect people. Sleepy eyes waltzing through. No, I'm not talking about you. To stand or not to stand, to plan or not to plan, to stall or not to stall. Fuck all those perfect people. To drink or not to drink, to think or not to think. Some choose to dismember your rise and your fall, and fuck all those perfect people. Sleepy eyes waltzing through. Well, I'm not talking about you. To sing or not to sing, to swing or not to swing. Hell, he fills up the silence like a chalk on the wall. Fuck all those perfect people. To pray or not to pray, to sway or not to sway. Jesus died for something or nothing at all. Fuck all those perfect people. Sleepy eyes waltzing through. I'm not talking about you. Be that as it may, be that as it may not be. Jesus was a union electrician by the Sea of Galilee. He lit up the first moving picture just to brighten up the show. Now will you be there in the last video? Be that as it may, be that as it might. Jesus shot an 8mm, he preferred the black and white. He said, do not play up to the lens, boys and girls, just give me what you know, and I will see you in the last video. Will you be there in the last video? Will your name be on the roll call at the end, my friend? Will the angels and the gamblers and the prisoners come and go? And will you be there in the last video? Tough guys, I need wise guys for the scene down by the docks. I need card counters and strip club bouncers, brunettes and Goldilocks. I need world leaders, bird feeders. I need undertakers and such. And some LA whores will be thanking you, Lord. Your son will look, but he will not touch. And go fix your hair and makeup, children, so your inner self will glow, and I will see you in the last video. Will you be there in the last video? Will your name be on the roll call at the end, my friend? Will the angels and the gamblers and the prisoners and the chiselers and the hustlers hustlers, the midnight rustlers, the subterraneans, the new Ukrainian, and the jokers, ego strokers, the ball players, the soothsayers, the lone rangers, the total strangers, and the sons of Herndon. And will you be there in the last video? Be that as it may, be that as it may not be. Some of us get in the way. Oh, just look at you and me, and screw all the perfect people. Jesus said that long ago. And will you be there in the last video? Will you be there in the last video? Will your name be on the roll call at the end, my friend? Where the angels and the gamblers and the prisoners come and go. Will you be there in the last video? One, two, three. And don't worry about the straddle of the right-wing radical, or heed the speed of the vulture. Don't cross the border for political order and upset the balance of culture. Just keep your eyes on the ozone and the price of oil. Don't worry about the stock market, let it fall. The warming of the seas and the hybrid cars. Was there ever an ocean up there on Mars? Whoa, a new song of freedom. Just let it go, it'll get there on its own. Tibet and China and the Dalai Lama, and no furs in celebration. Just mind your own business and close your ears. But who needs confrontation? And it's Russia and Iran and Pakistan. Hell, we'll all get together and we'll shake hands. It's the bottom of the ninth and everybody wins, but nobody goes the distance anymore. Whoa, a new song of freedom. Just let it go, it'll get there on its own. And the hell with the music, rock and roll, give it away and watch it fold. And the new Steve Earle checking out soon, trading his guitar for a shuttle to the moon. Whoa, a new song of freedom. Just let it go, it'll get there on its own. And whoa, a new song of freedom. Just let it go, it'll get there on its own.
We are confronted primarily with a moral issue. It is as old as the scriptures and is as clear as the American Constitution. The heart of the question is whether all Americans are to be afforded equal rights and equal opportunities.
No American who sees firsthand the concrete and mortar, the guard posts, the machine gun towers, the dog runs, and the barbed wire can ever again take for granted his or her freedom.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
I have today issued an executive order directing the use of troops under federal authority to aid in the execution of federal law at Little Rock, Arkansas.
Don't let
An urgent message. To anyone with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, this If you want to lose weight, you need to see.
That was sweet. Oh. But what I want to know is, why have they dressed it in a, I don't know, is that a prison uniform or a sailor's uniform? I don't, but, oh, so sweet. Good to see you, Jax. If anyone's got a link, because I just don't know what to put up. What do you do? You do need. What was I playing for? I know what I could do. Let me just bear with me. I'll just stick something else on. Oh goodness! Just while I look through another video. Hi.
He shows himself as a king. See his crown here? A cat and a toad, and he has these spider legs. So he's a pretty horrific looking character, isn't he? At the best of times. So he's known as the Lord of the Flies, Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies. So I'm going to take you to Wiki and have a little read before I go into the darker stuff. Beelzebub, Beelzebul, Hebrew, a name derived from a Philistine god formerly worshipped in Ekron. Seriously worshipped in Ekron. Seriously worshipped in Ekron. Lots and lots of temples to him. In theological sources, predominantly Christian, Beelzebub is another name for Satan. He is known in demonology as one of the 7 princes of hell. And then they talk about Solomon, the Christian Bible, the Gnostic tradition, modern culture. He's described as an extraterrestrial being. There's lots and lots of anime to do with Beelzebub, and plenty of people into him. Now, this is probably one of the better ones that I found. Beelzebub was always something of an enigma. A great jinn prince who rolled alongside Lucifer and Baal until he stuck his neck out a little too far, got it lopped off by Uriel, who was an archangel. It is assumed that he fell from heaven like all of the first princes. So, our friend Beelzebub, and I have huge respect for Beelzebub. I'm not going to slag him off for a minute. He's a lord of the air. He's an air god, also associated with Enki, and extremely powerful. Many think he was a great cherub of Jordai. Some think he served the enigmatic archangel of death, and a few whisper that he is no demon at all, but an ethereal god posing as a prince of hell. Either way, Beelzebub did live as a god for a time, using his broad intelligence network and his mastery of physical corruption to tempt the weak into spiritual corruption. As with Baal, his earthly worship was cut short by the works of Eli, and Zoroaster. More than any other prince, Beelzebub already feels that the world is his playground. Decay, mutation, and rot were always a part of the plan, and few know how to wield them better than the Prince of Corruption. So, there were at least 2, possibly even more princes of corruption. I wanted to make sure I took a different approach to each. With Beelzebub, I wanted to focus on physical corruption, especially given the traditional association between Beelzebub and flies. Anybody noticed the upsurge in flies lately? Have you noticed there's more flies and spiders? Loads of spiders. We've lived in this house for 14 years and never had a problem with spiders in the house. They're festooning the kitchen. They're all over the garden. My daughter has taken out at least 4 in the last couple of days. So, yeah, there is an increase in insects. It's okay, I'm not stopping yet. I've got more. Right. Beelzebub's servitors must befoul something every day or accumulate dissonance. In addition to the abilities listed below, every servitor of Beelzebub may add their ethereal forces to the Tian of Knowledge, insect rolls. Beelzebub's destroyers were surrounded by a fetid aura. In their presence, food spoiled, water turned brackish, wine vinegarized. So he has all these, like, demons attached to him. Banned attunements. This is all about frequency. Fly on the wall. The demon may spend 1 essence to see and hear what is happening in the vicinity of a person or artifact it is attuned to. Multiply the level of this connection by 5 to determine how minutes this attunement lasts. I don't all understand all of this. So he can send flies out and swarms of flies out. So he is Beelzebub, the knight of the Grand Order of the Fly. Beelzebub's knights can speak the language of the flies, maggots, and other carrion insects. The captain of larvae. A captain of larvae is a master of warping the unborn. In the presence of a pregnant creature, humans count, the demon may give the unborn child a number of physical disadvantages equal to his own physical forces. So he's not associated with unicorns and nice stuff, but with flies. And one has just flown in my window, a great big black fly. There is a chart. There is an invocation you can use to get rid of him, and I'll probably come across it in a minute. Right, we've seen that one. Let's go to the next one. Yep. So he's mentioned in Exodus. These plagues of flies are mentioned in Exodus. And then the Lord said to Moses, "Get up early in the morning and confront Pharaoh as he goes to the river, and say to him, 'This is what the Lord says. Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you do not let my people go, I will send swarms of flies on you and your officials, on your people and into your houses. The houses of the Egyptians will be full of flies, even the ground will be full of them, covered with them. But on that day I will deal differently with the land of Goshen, where my people live. No swarms of flies will be there, so that you will know that I, the Lord, am in this land. I will make a distinction between my people and your people.'" So the Lord can send plagues of flies. So is the Lord of the Bible Beelzebub? Is he Baal? It's been said before that the Roman Catholic Church are worshipping the beast, the Baal beast. And there have been a lot of fly plagues currently. Around the world, actually, around the realm. Because I watched a little bit of a video the other night, and it was Truth Seeker, I think she's 333, Jenny, who looks at mud flood, and she was saying that she travelled to the north of the US to see her mother, and they had terrible swarms of flies there, terrible. So over the last year, since lockdown, there's been swarms of flies. There's one here in Bristol. Thousands demand action as fly plague sweeps across lockdown Bristol. So they were everywhere. These flies just swarming everywhere. Yeah. Why, this is recent. Why swarms of daddy long legs are set to plague Britain after damp summer. So they've always got a reason. They've always got an excuse. I think the Bristol one was waste, rubbish or something. They say, no, it's something or other. It's a bloody factory. That's another one. This is recent. This is in the Shetland Isles. Popular cafe closes after plague of flies. And they said the best advice is to keep your food covered and make sure all food waste is disposed of in a lidded bin. She's been absolutely inundated by flies. And another one here. Birmingham. When I woke up this morning, I had no internet. So I'm not at all surprised that this is doing this. This was last June. Village residents horrified as plague of flies swarms home like something from a horror film. I don't want Birmingham live anywhere, no. Residents plagued by swarms of thousands of flies. Okay, that'll do with all that. So you get the point. Yeah? Now I'm going to have a look. Now, have you been introduced to Beelzebub? You know what he's about. There is more to this. He's actually in charge of etymology. Hang on, let's have a look, make sure that word's right. Which is the study of insects, and he's an expert on insects. Oh, it's entomology. Oh, God. Entomology, that's the words, isn't it? Yeah, insects, yeah. And if I put Beelzebub, let's see if we can get anything. God of the dung. Cultural entomology. Insects figure predominantly in creation myths of many cultures. This is just a bit of a book. I should have done this bit before, but I'll probably come across it in one of my other Baal description things in a bit. Right, before we go anywhere else, I want to show you this. Andrew Cross. The abiogenesis of Akari. Now, Andrew Cross, in 1837, he reported to the London Electrical Society concerning the accidental, spontaneous generation of life in the form of Acarus genus insects while he was conducting experiments on the formation of artificial crystals by means of prolonged exposure to weak electric current. Throughout numerous strict experiments under a wide variety of conditions utterly inimical to life as we know it, the insects continued to manifest. The great Michael Faraday was also reported to the Royal Institute that he had replicated the experiment. Soon afterwards, all notice of this phenomenon ceased to be reported, and this matter has not been resolved since then. So I'm going to leave all these links. So back in 1837, this chap, Andrew Cross, who they say was just a nice, ordinary sort of like scientist who was doing experiments. I strongly suspect he was an alchemist. But that aside, he was doing these experiments, and he's written this huge, long letter to the Royal Society here about how he did the experiment, hoping to find crystals, and then noticed these creatures forming. So let's put a little bit about when he finds them. It says, in the course of my endeavours to form artificial minerals by a long continued electric action on fluids, holding in solution such substances as were necessary for my purpose, I had recourse to every variety of contrivance which I could think of, so that on the one hand I might be enabled to keep up a never-failing electrical current of greater or lesser intensity or quantity, or both, as the case seemed to require. So, steady electrical current, and he used black flint. So he was using these different sort of silicas and things like this. And these insects were coming. He checked them for eggs. He did everything he could. Right, here we go. In the course of a few weeks, this is about the insects, about 100 of them made an appearance on the stone. I observed that at first each of them fixed itself for a considerable time in one spot, appearing, as far as I could judge, to feed by suction. But when a ray of light from the sun was directed upon it, it seemed disturbed and removed itself to the shaded part of the stone. Out of about 100 insects, not about 5 or 6 were born on the south side of the stone. I examined them with the microscope and observed that the smaller ones appeared to have only 6 legs, but the larger ones 8. So insect spiders, yeah? Lots and lots of information about them here, and it shows you how he did the experiment. So should you be so inclined? And here it is. This is the animal seen under the microscope. This is what he was producing. And there's some more references to this. Andrew Cross and the Mite That Shocked the World. Apparently when people found out what he was up to, he was shunned and ended up as a recluse and all this sort of thing. So I think this information about his insects spontaneously appearing when electric and magnetic currents were sort of in an area of certain materials was soon hidden. They didn't want people to know about that. Sorry, just having a swig of coffee. Okay, sorry. Right, let's get back on with Beelzebub. That's the last one I want to show you. I don't want to show you that yet. Let's find my bookmarks. Got so many bookmarks. A lot of these are defunct. They're just not even there anymore. Alright, is it this one? Alright. Is this his sigil? The true meaning of the names Beelzebub, Baal-zebub, Baal-muin and Baal ad-Dubab is Lord of everything which flies, a moniker referring to his dominion over aircraft and meteorology, which also attributes him to corpses. Beelzebub was venerated as a solar deity in paganism under the name Baal-zebul, or Lord of the Celestial Plane, and he is called the Lord of Chaos in Kabbalah. He is knowledgeable concerning biology, and it is his office to incite innovation. He is apt for rites of banishing, extrication, healing, cleansing, and death magic. Baal-zebub is also known as Beelzebub, Lord of Slander, and Nihilefer, Emptiness Bearer, the second of which refers to his destruction of the ego, the witch's fallacious understanding of her identity. He is a great defender with mastery over words, circle casting and shields, and according to the Testament of Solomon, Baal-zebub is a psychopompic agent of spirit manifestation and a patron of demonolatry. He rules over indulgence, ambition, authority, the rise and downfall of men of stature, bravery, knowledge, sodomy, power, aeonic progression, prosperity, luck, murder, bellicosity, war, self-assurance, magic, and money. He can impart wisdom and insight to the witch and help her find her soulmate. So like many of these angelic beings, because this is an angel. This is an angel. I mean, angels aren't all love and light. Angels have positive attributes and they have negative attributes. And Beelzebub's attributes are pretty dark, but he does have some good ones, doesn't he? He rules over luck as well as murder, self-assurance as well as war, knowledge as well as sodomy. So, two sides of a coin here. You've got the angelic side and the demonic side. One of his skills is about running and building a successful business. He's supposed to be pretty good at that. So people will summon Beelzebub to run a good business or something like that and appeal to his attributes. Mark Allen Smith asserted that Belial was the same entity as Beelzebub. While Smith is, from what I've seen, thoroughly trustworthy, I scoff at the idea until my demons told me he was correct. And I saw the same thing asserted in Toaf literature. So Belial, that's just another fallen angel. Yeah. Right, I've got to remember that I've already opened this one. This is VK Jehoon. Let's go back to my bookmarks. Now, I found some... You see, I've been looking at this since June. I've been looking at this since June when I first saw those flying creatures in the sky, and also I had a feeling about... I've looked at Beelzebub before, and I had a feeling that this thing, this cloud system that is coming over us, is it? It's Baal. It's Baal and it's Beelzebub. I follow the work of FPV Angel, And FPV Angel, I am convinced that there is an underground construction. There are angelic machines below ground. I don't know what they're like. I've got a theory on that as well, which I'll come to in my next video. I wanted to pile it all in together, and I think that these things project into the air. They project into the air the magnetic electric disturbances up there combined with whatever matter is in the air, and it's always up there in the air. There's always bits and pieces of matter, dead insects, bits of skin, bits of stuff, bits of feathers, bits of all sorts of stuff, all flying around up there. And I think that, like Andrew Cross's Akari, there is some sort of like spontaneous creation happening in the sky above us. I do think this. I genuinely do think this. And I don't think I'm the only one, because a lot of people have seen this stuff. And look at what's going on around us. I mean, you don't have to have a huge imagination to tie in these demonic attributes that this chap has with this awful time that we are going through, which is all about sickness and disease. And I mean, he's in charge of health as well. So the opposite side of health is death. It's like something somewhere is full on calling in, switching on and manipulating this dark demonic energy, and it's circling us. The Book of the Neglected. Just looked at that one. I've looked at that one. This is a book for sale on Amazon. There's a book for sale on Amazon all about him if you want to call him in. He's got grimoires, he's the Lord of Pestilence, Beelzebub and the Masks of Power. The Luciferian connection. Says he's an aspect of Venus. An aspect of Venus. Now, Venus is Lucifer in one of its aspects. It's all about aspects. Aspects of the planets, aspects of the constellations, aspects of the demons and the angels. Now, I've got 2 or 3 videos to put up because I've been doing a lot of sort of observation. And it's all sort of coming together. So, this guy is into Beelzebub. I don't listen to any of this stuff. Right. Dear friend, I would caution 99 out of 100 magicians not to summon Beelzebub. Don't even bother to knock on his gate. Beelzebub's magic requires you to become like a lion tamer with balls of steel and a heart of gold. So, don't do it. The Lord of Pestilence can both cure and inflict any deadly disease of magic. He's the Lord of healing and self-defense. And he can summon plagues of flies. He can summon plagues of flies. What's that? Oh God, that's when I was doing my sound earlier. So the Bank of England boss made a joke this morning or yesterday about the economy. He said, when is the plague of locusts due? Yeah. Seems like a bit of a strange thing to say, doesn't it? So, this is what... I found a better link than this, but I can't find it. I've been through my history and I can't find it. I'm beginning to think I bloody dreamt it. I'm sure I mentioned it to somebody. Where they really, really go into this parasitical infestation. Sort of like a fungal infestation. But Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies and the coming alien delusion. Have you ever thought about the reality of the spiritual war that rages on planet Earth? I'm sure you have. And if you are a born-again, spirit-filled Christian, I know that you have. But have you really considered what will happen once Bible prophecy begins to play out? We often believe that the world will continue as it always has, yet the prophetic word makes some startling claims. Will there be an Antichrist? Will there be a real man filled with the spirit of Satan, one who will assume the role of the second beast of Revelation? Right. Then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed, and said, Is not this the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, This fellow does not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. And Jesus knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? So he was a god of the Philistines, and his chief place of worship was in Ekron. In fact, King Ahaziah was injured in a fall, and he sent messengers to Ekron, and said unto them, Go inquire of Beelzebub, the god, whether I shall recover of this disease. The giving of oracles was associated with Beelzebub by the flight or buzz of a fly, and that is probably why Isaiah sent message to inquire of it. Right, here we go. Beelzebub, also known as Beelzebul or Baal-zebub, was known as the Lord of the Flies. Beel or Baal meaning Lord, and Zebub meaning to fly or flit from place to place. It was believed that Baal-zebub could drive away flies, but also that he could send them as a curse upon an enemy. Archaeological sites have even uncovered gold and fly images that were used in worship to this idol. The name also suggests Lord of the lofty habitation or dwelling, meaning of this lower world, which is why Beelzebub was associated with Satan, the prince of the power of the air. Consider that Beelzebub was used as a title for Satan and the demonic realm because it aptly describes his activity as the Lord of the Flies, or the Lord of those that flit from place to place. Sorry, I've got to pick my cat up. Now, he is literally the ruler of the air during the present age. Now, don't you find it incredible that legitimate UFO activity occurs in the sky, the air of our atmosphere, and that UFOs tend to fly or flit, much like the activity attributed to ancient Beelzebub? The Bible reveals that Beelzebub, also known as Lucifer, the light bearer, desired to rise above all of creation and make himself equal with God. But the Lord would have none of it, and Satan found himself cast down to the atmospheric regions of the earth. Beelzebub is the Lord of the Flies, the ancient fly god of the Philistines, and he rules the atmosphere, which is filled with spiritual flies who manifest from time to time as UFO and alien activity. Presently, he receives worship and attention from humans who long for alien contact. He deceives those who use occult means, such as channeling, to contact alien beings. And his methods of deception would lead the world to accept him as an alien god one day. That day may not be far off. When did he write this? 2014. Consider that Beelzebub... Hang on, did I just read that? Oh, God. So he's written a book called The Alien Antichrist, and he thinks that all these things that are manifesting in the sky, and I think so as well, have got very little to do with aliens and a lot to do with manifestation due to this magnetic electric activity up there. And I think it's happened before. I think we may well get plagues of flies, more plagues of flies. And I'm going to go and show you these videos again. G. Willie. So, G. Willie's, this is one of his latest ones. He's filmed that. He gets loads of the stuff. He gets them off the webcams mostly. This one. Yeah. These things. Yeah. And then we've got Deadeye Customs. And he has got some great stuff going on. He's got some great stuff going on. I did a video and shared a bit of my stuff and then some of G Willie's, because he's calling them nanobots. He's saying they're some sort of nanobot up there. But what also I like about G Willie is he has identified these things with the sky, and he's saying it's asteroids coming in. There's one there, see? They're like manifestations. And this is what I think, this is the system, this is the Baal system. It looks like a cat, a toad, or a king, or all three. And when it comes in, you can see these horrible clouds, these thick areas. If you zoom in and then play it back slow, you quite often get this fly activity. Loads of flies about. And I think that they spontaneously appear because the right conditions are in the cloud. We're giving it a lot of attention too. Hey, darling. My daughter's just got it. This. See it? I've been watching this for a few years now. So yeah, I think this is the Baal system, the Beelzebub system, circling us, bringing rain. He's the king of the air, he's the lord of the air, he's the lord of the elements, and he's the lord of the insects. The lord of the flies. Got lots of bits and pieces flying around in here. And this is from my film the other week when I was filming them all in the sky. Strange formations come in first. These sorts of things. This is part of it. This could be his crown. Like this, they look like this. This is some of them. And when they say they've got legions of demons with them, it's just the clouds. It's the other cloud formations. The clouds are the angels and the demons. They've been coming in. And I also think the clouds, we're seeing the constellations, but that's for another video. Look at this. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Clouds don't look like that, guys. Look at that. Wings. It's on some sort of throne. But 431, hang on, let's find my 431. I think this is the Baal system. Let's get the clear shot. Right, let's go back to this. Quite often he's seen with this sad face, this long, sad face. Always with the cat and the toad. The cat and the toad. And he's not nice, he's not nice. The cat and the toad and Beelzebub. And here he is, I think this is him. Here's the cat. Here's Beelzebub. Here's his face, he has a long face. See his crown? And the toad's up here, but you can't see him. They just manifest like that, they manifest like this. And I think all of the angels of the demons of the Goetia manifest in similar shapes to the pictures that were drawn of them. If you do the Goetia, and look at the demons. Here they are. A few of them. See? And I think they just manifest like this in the sky. We're in supernatural times, my friends. Things just ain't what we thought they were. I think that there are machines below the ground. I say machines, I think they're probably organic, crystalline, silicone bases, and they project this almost like a holographic magnetic electric reflection of what is happening below into the sky above, which affects us and which can manifest matter. Now, Beelzebub is manifesting flies, probably spiders as well, because there's loads of them about too. Daddy Longlegs maybe, simpler life forms, but he can do a lot of it. Also the weather. He's Lord of the Air, so he's got like weather stuff going on. And he's worshipped by them. They put a Baal arch up, didn't they? They've just made something of Moloch. They're all the same thing. They're all this dark, corrupt energy. And I can only have hope that one of Baal's attributes and what he does is take corrupt leaders down. So although he's corrupt himself, he doesn't like corrupt leaders. He probably doesn't want the what do you call it? The competition. So I know it all sounds a bit out there, but yeah, I think that massive cloud system that's going over us and keeps circling around. You see, Deadeye Customs calls them celestial objects, and he's right. He's right in a way. He's right. But there's nothing physical up here apart from these things that are being made by the extreme electrical magnetic activity in them. It's Baal, it's Beelzebub. He's works for Lucifer. Not a nice chap at all. And in my latest video, I think he was in that as well as the cat. Look at all these, when it comes in as well, it brings all these little chemtrail planes come out, and I think maybe they're spraying to create the conditions for these things to appear. You know? Look at it. Just look. So he's probably manifesting in one of his forms here. And if you watch it enough, you'll probably see it. Yeah. You might think I'm crazy. I don't really care at the moment because I know what I'm seeing. I know what other people are seeing. Some things are manifesting in our skies. We're encouraging it by wanting alien contact. I suggest you don't bother about that anymore. Just going to get lots of locust spiders and flies. Anyway, after all that, have a good day. Thanks for listening. Lots of love. Oh, good morning, guys. I've had this on my laptop for a couple of weeks, but I've got a new laptop and it's taken me quite a while to work out the photo editor. So what it was, I'm always out sky checking, and I went out and it was raining. And the sky was clear and it was very sunny, and it was raining. Look, you can see it. But when I panned down and looked at the ground, it was dry. Everything was dry. There was no water anywhere on anything, on me. I stood out in it, and it reached about 6 foot and disappeared. This was sort of just a couple of days after those orb things that I found. If you look, you can see these streaks, and I zoom in a bit here so that you can see them against the dark shadows of the tree a bit better. But when I do this, at around 1 minute 3 or 4 seconds, this strange little anomaly goes shooting across. Me and my daughter both saw it. Just around about here now. So what I did, I've slowed it down in a couple of clips so that you can see this thing for yourself. I call it a will-o'-the-wisp. So this is the first clip. So you can see the rain, the light rain, and everything was dry. Everything was dry. It was just like these streaks of light. And in the bottom, right at the bottom, sort of centre left, some more over to the left than the right, this little wispy creature appears and flies up diagonally across the screen, exiting sort of centre right. So keep your eyes open and I'll tell you when he comes in. It's so strange. I'm hoping Orb's Realm, Brendan, sees this. Here he comes, there in the centre, swimming up through, and goes there. Now, I've done it again for you. He comes in a bit quicker on the second clip. So here's the second clip coming up now. Ready? Watch. I don't think you can see the cursor on this, but he comes in about here. Here he is, in the middle now, swimming up through, and he exits there. I hope you saw it. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Mini earthquakes.
That was weird as
We've had several phone calls about people reporting shaking.
The United States Geological Survey telling Local 10 News what may have felt like a small earthquake did not register.
In fact, folks in Tavernier felt it all the way up from Homestead up to Parkland, so something shook a large area.
Almost like someone was opening and closing the door.
I thought it was an earthquake. I've never been in an earthquake before.
In Homestead, people tweeting it went on for 15 seconds.
And we did not detect any earthquake activity.
What people are describing, the shaking that lasted around 15 seconds, does appear to be what some people are calling a sonic boom. But what exactly caused this? That's still a mystery.
Well, did you feel it or did you hear it? That was the question everyone in South Baldwin County was asking this afternoon after something shook buildings and rumbled its way through the area.
They described it as everything from an earthquake to a meteor. Now, the U.S. Geological Society is not registering any earthquake in the immediate area.
Well, first thing I thought was a jet. Maybe a jet had crashed, and it wasn't a sonic boom because didn't sound nothing like it. I've heard that before, but the first thing I thought was earthquake.
The house was shaking, and my daughter was like, "Mama, you feel that?" And I looked at the curtain, and it was like, ooh. It did for like a good 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, did we have an earthquake in Foley?
It seems pretty crazy out there.
Going to start with some breaking news. A 3.1 magnitude earthquake outside of Concord. It happened about 10 minutes ago, the epicenter near Concord.
We just had an earthquake in Concord last week.
Yeah, you guys, I just actually felt it here. I was getting ready to tape something for the station and felt the shaking. It lasted about 2 to 3 seconds and happening on the same fault that we had the earlier earthquake this week, which was a 3.6 magnitude. So this is smaller than the earthquake earlier this week. Now, we don't hear too much about this fault. It's somewhat of a sleeper fault.
And Europe's largest active volcano has erupted for the first time this year. Mount Etna sent lava and rocks high up into the air overnight. There is no risk to the local population, apparently, except for a light dusting of ash, which blew over some nearby towns.
Indonesia's Mount Semeru has erupted, pouring ash and smoke an estimated 3.4 miles into the sky above Java. The volcano is one of the country's most popular hiking destinations. So far, no one has been asked to evacuate and no casualties have been reported. Villagers living on the mountain slopes have been warned of a possible cold lava mudflow, which can be triggered by intense rainfall.
In Indonesia's South Kalimantan province on the island of Borneo, heavy rain has lashed these villages and towns for days. Tens of thousands of people have been evacuated.
This was a picturesque but fortunately empty cottage at Chorley in Lancashire before and after the floods. Some places are expected to get 2 months of rain in just a few days.
We've been here in Mellington Avenue 33 years and we've never had it quite as bad as this. And it's a bit more alarming.
Storm Christoph started with strong winds and heavy rain, but now temperatures are falling. Many places are dealing with a difficult combination of rising water levels and falling snow. At Didsbury near Manchester, the River Mersey rose to record levels. We're often told not to drive through floodwater, but this driver didn't get the memo.
Wrong speed, wrong speed.
Yikes.
Another night of unrest in Tunisia. Young protesters raging against unemployment, poverty and police brutality in some of the country's poorest neighborhoods.
It also include the state of the economy, joblessness and police violence. They came a decade after a street vendor set himself on fire in protest over the same issues, an event that became a catalyst for the 2011 revolution in Tunisia and the Arab Spring.
The government has deployed army across several cities. Hundreds of people have been arrested.
Giants and our news organisations hotted up today. While the federal government is determined to introduce a news media bargaining code so that the likes of Google and Facebook pay for the news that they cut and paste, that's a kind way of saying what they do, a Senate committee is looking at the issue. Today, Google fired their biggest shot yet, threatening to close down the search engine to all Australians.
If this version of the code were to become law, it would give us no real choice but to stop making Google search available in Australia. Now that would be a bad outcome for us, but also for the Australian people. And withdrawing our services from Australia is the last thing that I or Google want to have happen, especially when there is another way forward.
Now, given the fact that 95% of Australians frequently Google, that's the verb, not the institution, it would have an enormous impact on this country's search for information and the way we use the internet.
Looking back into history again with this next story, an archaeological discovery in the Negev now bringing up a very interesting new question.
Who in the world was Maria? This is the new question baffling researchers at the Israel Antiquities Authority following the discovery of an incredible 1,400-year-old stone, and the flat, round Byzantine-era artifact appearing to be a headstone with a Greek inscription text reading Blessed Maria, who lived an immaculate life and died on the 9th of February. Of course, while we may never find out more about Maria herself, her 23-some-odd centimeter headstone offers an important clue to other inquiries in the area. Discovered in the Nitzana National Park in the Negev, Maria's headstone joins others commemorating Christians buried in the churches and cemeteries that have also been unearthed nearby. But unlike the other towns, very little is actually known about the burial grounds near Nitzana.
Have you ever wondered what happens after someone dies? Is there really life after death? And can the dead actually speak to the living? This may sound a little spooky, maybe even creepy, but new research is offering a scientific explanation to this phenomena. While some people claim they see dead people,
I don't see anything. Are you sure they're there? They're everywhere.
Others say they can hear or even sense the deceased.
Someone said, "What is your name?" This thing is talking to us.
But how could this actually happen? The question has long perplexed many, but now a new study is offering some insight. After surveying 65 clairaudient spiritualist mediums from the Spiritualist National Union and 143 members of the general population, the researchers found that these spiritualists have a tendency for absorption, a trait that's linked to immersion in mental or imaginative activities or experience, which can alter states of consciousness.
If this is real, people should know.
According to the researchers, some people adopt spiritualist beliefs and engage in the practice of hearing the dead. Of the spiritualists surveyed, 79% said hearing voices was a normal part of their lives at church and at home, while 44% said they heard voices every day. Dr. Peter Mosley, co-author of the study at Northumbria University, said in a statement, spiritualists tend to report unusual auditory experiences which are positive, start early in life, and which they are often then able to control. Understanding how these develop is important because it could help us understand more about distressing or non-controllable experiences of hearing voices too. And while hearing voices is often diagnosed as a symptom of mental illness, perhaps schizophrenia, the researchers hope to work out why that's the case for some, while others believe that it's a religious or spiritual experience.
We certainly needed something to lighten up a bit. Hopefully it's not really scary news for people out there, but it's hard to understand why it was in the COVID-19 relief bill, but one thing is really clear, lawmakers want to know more. So this mysterious blue light was captured over the skies of Hawaii just this week, and it's these kind of events that have inspired the order for more information on UFOs that was tacked on to that COVID-19 relief bill.
We want to know who are they, you know, why are they here, what are their intentions, and how long have they been here?
The clock is ticking for the Pentagon's discrete program to investigate UFOs as ordered by a clause in the coronavirus relief bill.
Did you know that if you have $10,000 that you're looking to invest into your business and you're trying to retire in the next few years?
Lost cities, giants. These are 5 excavations where mysterious and terrifying things were found. Number 5. Strange mysteries of a lost tomb in Egypt. Located on the west bank of the Nile River of Egypt, just opposite of the city of Luxor, it's a dusty valley called the Valley of the Kings, also referred to as the Valley of the Gates of the Kings. While at first glance it may seem to be merely a stretch of arid desolation, it is home to a great necropolis of ancient tombs that serve as the burial sites for numerous pharaohs and nobles between the 16th to 11th century BC, the most famous being the tomb of King Tutankhamun. The Valley of the Kings contains 64 known tombs and chambers of various shapes and sizes, but one of the most recently found tombs has proven to be quite puzzling. In 2005, a team of U.S. archaeologists from the University of Memphis, led by a Dr. Odo Shaden, decided to excavate the ruins of 19th dynasty workmen's huts at the entrance to a tomb called KV-10. While digging under the hot desert sun, they quite by accident discovered a previously unknown vertical shaft that they had somehow missed. The team was able to follow the shaft 5 meters down into the earth to a massive door made of stone blocks, which at the time seemed to have never been opened. It was truly exciting at the time, as this was the first new tomb found in the valley since the historic discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922. So when the door was opened, the team found something unbelievable. 28 enormous storage jars with clay seal impressions and 7 coffins, one of them seeming to be child-sized. Some of these mysterious coffins had yellow funerary masks upon them, while others had black funerary masks, as well as some inscriptions, including the name used by Tutankhamun's wife, Ankhesenamun. Indeed, this, plus the architectural style and bits of text found, suggested that the chamber was contemporary with the time of Tutankhamun. However, when the coffins were opened, they were found to not contain any human bodies at all. Instead, they held within them an eclectic mix of mummification gear, including natron, wood, pieces of broken pottery, small animal bones, pieces of twine rope, and papyrus. There was a deliberate purpose to all of this. But what? At the time, no one had a clue, and it remains just one more mystery of ancient Egypt lost to the mists of time. Number 4. The Hidden Fossil. Our next story took place in 2014 in the village of Lial en Dodon, about 70 kilometers away from Toulouse. There, a farmer who was working his land found the skull of an animal that looked like an elephant, but was undoubtedly not one. Fearing that the discovery would cause his land to be trampled by amateur fossil hunters and journalists, he decided to keep it a secret. However, in 2017, he approached the town's Natural History Museum in order to inform the staff about his discovery. Distrustful, a team of experts went to his farm and, to their surprise, identified the fossil as Gomputherium pyrenaicum, an elephant relative that had 4 tusks of approximately 31 inches each, 2 in the upper jaw and 2 in the lower jaw. This species is painfully rare in the fossil record and known only from tusks found 150 years ago in the same region. Now that the scientific community possesses a complete skull, we will be able to obtain a clearer image of the anatomy on this Pyrenean mastodon species. Number 3. A lost city. So far, the city of Utisha
My name is Jerry Marzinski, and I've got Gretchen with me today. I worked on the front lines of mental health here in the United States for close to 40 years, still involved with it. Worked at the largest psychiatric hospital on the planet for 7 years, spent about 18 years in the psychology department of a state prison, worked psych crisis for 10 years in hospital emergency rooms. worked in mental health centers. So I've been on the front lines for a long time. And what the psychiatric mafia is doing does not work. They're dishing out these chemicals that induce a chemical lobotomy to these patients. They're some of the most dangerous drugs in medical use today, and with extended use actually do permanent neurological damage to the brain and nervous system of these patients. And that's well known. So yeah, the system, the Western mental health system, the drug-fueled, pharmaceutically based system does not work. It is not curing anybody. They don't know what causes schizophrenia. They don't know how to treat it. They basically lock these people up, send them to prison, or drug them senseless. Now, shamans have been curing this malady for thousands of years. And when a prominent researcher, Dr. Ermark, witnessed a shaman cure several people of schizophrenia, he wrote to the Journal of Religion and Health, I think it was, and published an article on that. When that article came out, the psychiatric mafia and the academic establishment just attacked him furiously. Despite the fact that they didn't know what causes schizophrenia, they don't know how to treat it, they don't know what causes it. All right. So the psychiatric mafia, the pharmaceutical establishment, and the medical establishment are all brainwashed into thinking that pharmacology is the only way to treat this illness. They're trying to push people to believe that it is a disease. It is not a disease. So what we have here today is Gretchen, and what you're going to hear is from the horse's mouth. Gretchen started hearing voices after using methamphetamine. She was committed to a psych hospital, and then she was taking these neuroleptic medications for 4 years on and off, and then that didn't cure anything. I mean, she got to the point where she couldn't stand them. She'd go off them again. The voices would start, and she'd be in trouble again. So after 4 years, she went to an energy healer who's similar to a shaman. And that person helped her get rid of the voices. And she's been clear of them for 4 years now. So I'm going to let her tell you her story, how this all started, what it was like to be in the mental hospital, what it was like to be locked up there, what the meds felt like, and then what it was like to go to the energy healer. So Gretchen, it's all yours.
Thank you, Jerry. So I had my first psychotic episode when I was 18 years old, and then I was treated for a few years with neuroleptics until I met my healer. And it first started, the first experience of the psychosis started with strange thoughts and sleepless nights. But at first I didn't feel any fear or anxiety. On the opposite, I felt euphoric. And I started having inputs of strange negative thoughts by the entities after a while that told me that my mother wants to poison me. And
now,
then
how did you tell the difference between the entities and your own thoughts?
I couldn't. At first, I couldn't. Just after some time, when I was treated by the neuroleptics, and when I slowly started to recover, then I realized what happened. And also my parents told me, this wasn't you, you didn't behave like yourself, this was nothing like yourself, you were a completely different person.
And at what point did you figure out that your thoughts were different from the thoughts that you were getting by these entities? Or did you have to struggle with that for a while?
I realized, well, when I came back to normal consciousness, I realized that these thoughts, first of all, they didn't make any sense. Of course, my mother loves me, and she would never hurt me. They were completely irrational, and they were, well, those entities were trying to manipulate me, and they were trying to believe me that my close family members were my greatest enemies. So
yeah, that's common.
yeah, I know that's very common. Yeah.
So at some point you figured out that they weren't you. And
Yes, but that
the
awareness only came later.
and how long did it take you to figure that out?
I think I only truly believed in it after the second or third episode, because how the next episodes came on were really different. There were a different background story. I kind of I was not really in contact with myself. I started isolating myself. I stopped doing the things that were good for me, and I kind of lost contact with my soul. And then it happened again.
So the medications helped you collect yourself and calm you down long enough to realize that those thoughts that were coming into your head did not belong to you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And what happened from there?
Do you want me to talk about the content of the other episodes, or what would you like to know?
Yeah, go ahead.
So during the other episodes, I heard the voices of my friends. It was as if they're talking behind my back. And also I heard voices of people that I know, other people that I know, and also my spiritual mentor, as if she was talking. I thought that's a kind of telepathic communication, but all the information was false, of course, because it was by the entities. So they got me to buy into that it was true.
Did you ever ask them who they were?
No, I didn't do that, no.
Okay. So they were telling you lies.
Exactly. And another time it started, I was really euphoric again, and I was not in my hometown. I was visiting a friend, and then I started buying lots of things, and after that I was throwing away my purse and my personal items because well, the entities told me to do so, and I thought I'd never need my purse again, which was really stupid and irrational. So they can get you to do things that you would never normally do.
That would get you in big trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you were in trouble, could you feel that your energy level was decreasing? Could you feel them taking your energy?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So that's one of the things they do. They stir up negative emotion and all kinds of trauma, and then they feed off of that negative emotional energy.
Yes, and not only that, they also keep you awake at night, which also weakens you.
Yes, it weakens your resistance, and they usually put nightmares. They usually stick nightmares in your head.
And the thought stream is really speedy, and it's very difficult to interrupt that thought stream which is coming from them.
Is it almost like they hypnotize you?
Not exactly. I just experienced an increased, a very fast, speedy thought stream that would come in.
That was very difficult to break.
Yeah.
Okay.
And In 2016, I've met my energy healer through my
Oh no,
professor.
you're moving way ahead. What?
Oh, okay.
How did you end up in the hospital, and what was it like when you got there? And how
It
did
was
those
terrible.
medications work when they filled you full of those medications?
They didn't work for 1 or 2 weeks. They had almost no effect, and only after some time they started working. But I actually got worse because I was locked up with all those other sick people, so to say, and
So you were afraid.
well, my mind made up when I met the other people. I only got more confused, and because with each new person that I met, a new story, a new scenario came into my mind, and that would only make me worse.
And what were the voices telling you about the others?
Oh, so many different things. I don't remember now, but with each person there was like a different fictive story.
Was it a negative, scary story?
Not always, and not always a scary story, but always nothing to do with reality.
Okay.
For
And
example, I would think that a guy was an alien, or that a woman is acting in a way because she wants to remind me of some other person, or there was just random thoughts that I would make up in my mind.
so it was very confusing
It was very confusing, yes.
and very nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now could you feel when they got you in that kind of state, could you feel your energy decrease?
Yes, but I was also really tired and sleepy because of the medication.
Medications. And what was it like to be on those medications? What did it feel like? What did it do to your mind and your ability to function?
What it did to my mind, it blocks the ability to think. It blocks the ability for imagination. I just had no energy and no motivation to do anything. It was not nice at all.
And you were off and on those things for, did you say 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you would stop them because they were so horrible, and then you would lapse back into this state again.
Yeah, I would stop them because I didn't feel like myself, and then after when I stopped them and a few months had gone by, I started feeling normal again.
And then how long was it before the voices started again, once you went off them?
It was about half a year.
Well, that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it range between a couple of weeks to that long, and sometimes longer, but usually it would lapse back. And what was it like dealing with the psychiatrists in that hospital where you were at?
They were doing everything according to protocols, so I would just have very short conversations with them, and that's it. There was not much involvement from their side.
So
and I also had to be careful about what I'd say, because I thought maybe if I say the wrong thing, they will keep me longer there.
Yeah, and that's a concern too. So, how much? What is the average amount of time that they spent with you a day, the psychiatrist, or did they see you every day?
5 minutes, really.
Yeah. So
No.
basically here they are 5 minutes, and if you say the wrong thing, they put you on more meds or they keep you there longer. So what I found is patients were really afraid to talk to them because they'd afraid they'd change their meds or they'd increase their meds or they'd keep them in the hospital longer. Was that your opinion and that of the others who were in there?
Yes, and you know, you probably know about that. There's not much you can do there. There are, well, you have sports a few times in a week, then you have painting or art class, and that's it. And sometimes sometimes additionally to the psychiatrist, you'd have a meeting with a psychologist once a week, but if you were lucky.
Now, did that psychologist understand what the voices were or have any idea what was going on with you?
No, they were all going by the standard medical and psychiatry books.
Now, did that help you at all?
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. And did you make friends with any of the patients there, or did you
Yeah,
all?
yeah, I
And
did.
what was that like, meeting the other patients and talking to them? Did they all have the same opinion of what was going on in that institution?
Some did, yes, and some also had similar hallucinations, I must say. Yeah.
So you guys would talk about the hallucinations that you
Well,
had, or?
actually, yeah, talking to the other patients was more helpful than talking to the psychiatrist.
I tell you, when I was working, and I found out these things were voices, I couldn't talk to any of my colleagues. I couldn't talk to any of the psychiatrists about it. I couldn't talk to anybody about it because the only people who understood were the people who heard the voices.
Yeah, right.
I could talk to them about it, but I couldn't talk to anybody else about it. And they understood it better than the psychiatrist or anybody else also.
True.
So what did it take to get you out of there? You were there 4 times, right?
Yeah. I just had to wait until these 4 or 6 weeks were over, and then I could go home. My parents would pick me up and I'd go home.
So basically all they did there was the psychiatrist talked to you for 5 minutes. He would dish out drugs and disappear. You'd be bored, pretty much bored the rest of the time, full of these drugs that were gorking you out.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sometimes boredom is not that bad, actually. There were a few times when I was really fearful because I had hallucinations that, okay, I'll tell you of that happening when I had the hallucination that gas would come out from the ceiling. So I went to the nurse's room and I told the nurse, can I sit here because in the other rooms gas is coming out and I want to sit here because I thought that's the only room where no gas is coming out. So she said, yeah, you can sit here, but she didn't do anything to calm me down or to convince that what I was thinking isn't true.
So
But
it's
she
like
let me sit there.
Yeah, basically sit here and shut up.
Yeah. So sometimes it was really scary to be there.
And what did you do to convince the psychiatrist you need to get out of there, or did you just have to kind of stay there until they decided that you needed to leave?
I had to stay there until they and the legal person decided that I can go.
So they were holding you there against your will.
Yes.
Now, did you do anything dangerous to yourself or anybody else before they put you in there?
No, I didn't, but they assessed my they assessed me as that I could do something dangerous to myself or to others.
Without any evidence that you did you tell them you were suicidal? Did you tell them you were thinking about hurting anybody else? Did you give them any hint that you were dangerous to yourself or anybody else?
No, nothing like that. But one time when my parents brought me there, I tried to run away and police had to come and get me back into the hospital.
Okay. So I mean, nobody would want to go into that place. So here in the United States, you have to be, for them to commit you and hold you legally, you have to be an imminent threat. I mean, imminent threat to yourself or somebody else, which means you have to tell the psychiatrist that you're thinking about killing yourself, tell the psychiatrist that you're thinking about hurting somebody else, or actually attack somebody. So these guys just made this crap up and said they thought you might be dangerous and then locked you up for how long did they hold you in that place?
One time 4 weeks, one time 6 weeks.
2 months. Based on their thought that you might be dangerous without any evidence at all.
Yeah, I didn't attack anyone. I didn't tell that I had the thought of attacking anyone. Nothing like that.
That is bizarre. That they wouldn't get away with that over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they had complete control over you. They were filling you full of drugs until you were gorked out, and you had to stay there for 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went through that 4 times over 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. And maybe for the last 2 years, you realized that the voices were not you, they didn't belong to you, that they were entities and invaders?
Exactly. Especially, I realized that after working with my healer and talking about it to my spiritual mentor, who's also in the UK.
Did you ever dare try to tell a psychiatrist that these were entities and not hallucinations?
No, I wasn't that stupid.
I wasn't either. Even though I knew it cold, I didn't dare talk to them about it because I knew what they would do. Yeah. So what made you decide to go to a healer? And what was that like when you started? Did you feel they understood what was going on?
Yes, I felt that she understood me on a different level, and I just had the feeling that she is the one who can truly help me.
Right, because she understood what you were going through, unlike the psychiatrist that would listen for 5 minutes and disappear.
She'd spent maybe 2 hours in one session with me, and what she would do was to first get rid of check my energy field and then get rid of any entities if there were any. Then she would work on my
Well, when she did that, did you feel any different after she got rid of these entities?
Yes, of course. The negative thoughts were less.
And was it pretty dramatic? Did it happen fairly suddenly?
It was pretty dramatic, yes, for my whole family and me. We were all shocked. And also, the daunting diagnosis, paranoid schizophrenia, sounds quite scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it does carry a stigma with it.
Yeah, and my healer told me not to listen to that diagnosis, that this isn't really true, and that there are different ways to work on it and to prevent it.
And did your first visit with the healer, did that result in substantial improvement right away?
Not right away. I had to go and see her quite frequently. Because also all the chemicals first have to leave the body, and after such an episode you're just exhausted and very slow, and recovery takes maybe half a year.
So you were feeling better all along as she worked on you?
Yeah.
And when did she first tell you that these were entities, or did you figure that ahead of time and tell her these were entities, these voices were entities? Uh, how did you guys approach that?
She told me, and she said she explained how they work, and that also people who are not sick can also have those attachments and not even realize it.
Oh, that's true. That's so true. So you virtually what happened is those medications calmed you down enough to where you kind of got your own facilities back, but they didn't last and they didn't do you any lasting good. And you felt like a zombie while you were on them. You didn't feel like you were yourself. You couldn't think, you couldn't function, you couldn't hold a job.
Yes, I couldn't concentrate, and yes, they calmed me down, but I didn't feel like myself at all.
Right. So weren't helping you out on any kind of permanent basis.
No.
Okay. So what was it like when you first went to the healer?
It was a relief that someone would understand and see the world differently.
See, I saw the same thing when I started working with patients. It was like, what you know what's going on, and some of them would even ask me, "Well, are you psychotic too? Are you crazy too? How do you know this stuff?" You know, and yeah, there was a big difference when they felt that you understood because they knew clearly that the psychiatrists and the medical staff did not. So it was like there was a relationship, a working relationship right away, just because you understood what they were going through.
Yes, that would lead to people opening up to you, right?
Yes, yeah. Little by little, you know, they kind of had to test me because they didn't trust psychologists, they didn't trust psychiatrists. So it took a while. See, I was the one that had the stigma. I was the one working in there, and they had to see if they could trust me. So they would give me little bit by little bit, you know, just kind of testing to see if I understood. And once I did, they started opening up.
And how long did it take for them to open up to you?
When I was working at the state hospital and I wasn't sure what the voices were, what I was doing was trying to get.
Right. Well, that was very interesting. And if you want to watch the rest of it, the link is in the description. Yeah, so very windy here, and thanks everyone for coming. A lovely day. Right, let me just go. Right. Well, onwards and upwards. Simon, I hope you feeling a bit more uplifty soon. I know exactly what you mean. It really is a roller coaster, isn't it, sometimes? But yes, I'm gonna make or some hydrochloroquine. My daughter's not well now. She's feeling poorly, so rather than any pharmaceutical shit, she asked me if I'd make her some. So that's good. So that's what I will be doing in a minute. Brewing, cooking, whatever. Yes, it is a ride. It certainly is. I'll be glad when my decorating ride is over at this job. But enough of that. Yeah. It's a shame I can't play something on the guitar. That ain't good enough. No, what it is, the sound quality is so bad. I did a test, and I won't play it. I'll just play a couple of notes, and you can hear how bad the microphone is, as if it'll pick it up at all. When you play a note, any note I do, sounds crap. Oh, this album played, so. Anyway, enough of that. Between me and myself, this. Yes, so thanks for coming. I know there's only a few of you left. There wasn't that many here anyway. My channel is shrinking, and but it's fine. I'm not going to change what I do, even if it's down to just me watching it. I can give myself a thumbs up. Anyway, I've got to find some petrol. Not tonight. Apparently they run out of diesel, so tomorrow night I will be heading out at about 1 o'clock in the morning to a designated place, fill up my car with diesel, hopefully. Fucking mental. But sorry, I'm just reading vitamin C is a sore. Indeed. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, thanks for coming. Jax, thanks for letting us play your video, even though I didn't ask you. Sorry. Can I play your video? And please, if you haven't heard my latest Country Road song, please go and have a listen. It's, I think it's really nice. Anyway, I'm off. You're off. Take care, everyone. Stay well. Be mindful. Be patient. But most of all, be you. See you later.